Paige, and today's video is going to be all about trying new e.l.f. makeup. I recently did a huge drugstore makeup haul on my channel. I will link that down below if you haven't seen it yet, but I bought so much e.l.f. makeup at Target, Ulta, and Walmart, so I'm gonna sit down and play with it all and do like a little first impressions review today. I also have so much other drugstore makeup that I plan on reviewing on my channel really soon. I want to do a full face of new drugstore makeup, so aside from the e.l.f. stuff, I just had so much e.l.f. stuff I figured I would make it its own video. So yeah, the products that I use today will be linked down below in the description box. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna kick things off with primer, and I actually have 3 primers to choose from. They all come in this packaging here. We have the new matte putty primer, the new luminous putty primer, and then the poreless putty primer. This product right here went viral and it was sold out everywhere nationwide after it was Jeffree Star approved, and I actually purchased this like a month or 2 ago and I haven't gotten the chance to use it yet, and I wasn't sure which one to try, so I did a poll on Instagram and it turns out that the poreless putty primer won. We have 554 votes for poreless, 429 for luminous, and then 319 for matte. So we're gonna be trying out the poreless putty primer today. I'm so excited. This is like the OG one. I think that they came out with these 2 after because of the great reaction from their first product. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, which I love that primer. I haven't used it in a while, but I'm excited to see if this is a good dupe or not. It definitely has a similar vibe to the Tatcha one, but I feel like this feels a lot more hydrating than the Tatcha one does. I know with the Tatcha one a little bit goes a long way, but I feel like this just isn't like, it's not rubbing into the skin as well as the Tatcha one does. I feel like I used a lot of product. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but I took a pretty big chunk out of there. But it feels really nice on my skin. It doesn't feel too like silicone based. I'm not really a fan of silicone primers. I prefer a more moisturizing primer, which this actually feels decently moisturizing, so I have really high hopes for this. I feel like I either have a good moisturizing primer or a good pore filling primer. Like, it's hard to find a combination of the 2, but I feel like the Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream is a very moisturizing product, and it really blurs my pores. It's some kind of magic. It's like, it's a miracle. But that would be awesome if this is like a decent alternative, not necessarily a dupe, but an alternative. For foundation, I have this one right here. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. It says that it is oil-free, has medium coverage, and a satin finish. I have it in the shade 210 Natural, which is for neutral undertones. I really hope that this shade works for me. I mentioned in the haul I did a little swatch on the back of my hand and it looked like it was gonna be okay, but we're gonna find out today. I'm gonna do 2 pumps of this product just to see like how far that takes us. I'm also going to be using a new sponge today. So many new things. But this is actually an e.l.f. sponge, and this grew a lot. I'll show you. This is like the sponge in the packaging. There was 2 of them in here and I dampened it and it's like massive now. So we're gonna be trying out this sponge today. I'm not sure how I feel about the shape of it. I feel like it might be fine. So yeah, here we go. I'm gonna use like the butt of the sponge. It's so squishy. Like, it's a super soft sponge, which I like. I don't like when sponges are too firm. I do have very oily skin, and I also have acne prone skin, so I tend to prefer more like full coverage foundations, but like natural finish. I don't like anything that's too matte, because then I feel like my makeup just ends up looking really cakey, but I definitely like something that can control the oil. This is like looking a little funky. This is what 2 pumps of the foundation looks like on my skin. I would say this is a medium coverage foundation. The shade is a little bit off. It's a little bit too light for me. I feel like it's kind of hard to blend out with this sponge. I feel like it's very uneven, but that could be because it's like a brand new sponge. I think I'm gonna go in with another pump and just see if it's buildable at all and see if I can get rid of some more of this like redness that I have. And then here is what 3 pumps of the foundation looks like. I would say it built up a little bit. Also, the foundation match color looks a lot better in person than it does in the viewfinder, so hopefully it doesn't look too crazy when I'm editing, but in person it looks really pale, but that's because I am pale. So anyway, I would say that it looks decent. It's very apparent on my skin, like I could obviously see that I'm wearing foundation, but it's not horrible. And I love the way that this feels like in my hand. It's so squishy and like I really like the way that it feels. I definitely want to try this out with some of my other foundations to see if I like it better than my Real Techniques sponge, but I mean, I feel like it applied the foundation decently, but I felt like I had to work a little bit extra to get like an even coverage, like an even distribution of product. So now we're gonna go into concealer, and I actually have a couple of different concealers here. I have the original 16-hour Camo concealer, and then I have 2 shades of the hydrating Camo concealer satin finish. So I haven't tried either of these products, but I think I'm gonna go with the hydrating one since this is the newer formula. I definitely will try this in an upcoming video though. I have this in the shade Light Peach and it looks super light. And then these 2 here, I have the shade Light Peach and then Light Beige. But as you can see, both of these are the shade Light Peach and they are very different colors. Someone said that the original one oxidizes a little bit and the hydrating one doesn't, so maybe that like compensates for it, but just something to note. So I'm gonna go in with, this looks like it's gonna be too dark for me, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Light Peach of the hydrating Camo concealer satin finish. There is a huge doe foot applicator, and I'm also just gonna start off with like a smaller amount of product because I also saw a comment that said that they didn't like it at first because I think they were using too much product. So I'm gonna start slow and see where it takes me. And then I also have another new sponge to try out. This is called the Camo Concealer Sponge, and it says that it is used best with our Camo concealers. I got this at Ulta, and it says, introducing the Camo Concealer Sponge, the perfect sponge to complement the Camo Concealer. This sponge was specially designed to perform best with this concealer. The dual pointed end easily fits into the hard to reach areas of the face, allowing for a flawless application. So when I hauled this, I mentioned like, I don't know if this is just like a gimmick and like a way to spend more money, like, oh, if you have the concealer, you need the right tool to apply it with, or if any old sponge would work great. So I'm gonna try out the new sponge and just see how it goes. It also feels very squishy. It almost feels like the same exact like consistency as the other e.l.f. sponge that I use, but obviously it's a different shape, and I gotta say I really like the shape. All right, so there's what it looks like blended out underneath one of the eyes. I feel like it doesn't have that full of coverage. I was expecting like super full coverage, but it I don't really feel like it's doing anything. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it all got soaked up into the sponge, but it literally feels like the product just blended into nothing, which could mean that it's just lightweight, but like this redness, I actually feel like it took away coverage. So I'm gonna go in with another little dab in between my eyebrows because I have like a huge breakout right there. So we'll see if this helps. I honestly feel like it's just gathering into my like little fine lines, and it didn't really give me any additional coverage to the redness that's there. I zoomed you all in a bit and turned down the brightness just so hopefully you can see a little bit more detail, but I don't think that it looks good. Not sure how I'm feeling about the concealer. I don't think that I love it, but it's not like horrible, so I guess we'll come back to that. For powder, I do have the new Halo Glow setting powder. Some people said this is supposed to be a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light powders, so if that's the case, this is not going to work for me as an overall setting powder. I just have way too much texture on my skin and too oily of skin. So I'm going to like try to swatch some of this and see if that's the case or if that's just like a speculation. So it is a loose powder. I have it on my finger here. And I'm just gonna, well, I can confidently confirm that this is not a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light Powder. This is super ashy and chalky feeling. I'll go ahead and swatch this one. This is in the shade Do Me. So here's the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light Powder next to the Halo Glow powder from e.l.f. This one is so much more creamy and buttery, and this one feels extremely dry and feels like a translucent powder. I'm gonna try to get you to see that glow that the Jaclyn one has right here, and then this one, I don't see any glow in this powder. Like, it just looks like a matte, ashy, loose powder. So I can confirm that it is not a dupe, but I could definitely see where the speculation came into play. So I actually am going to try to set the face with the e.l.f. powder. The concealer is kind of creasing under my eyes a little bit, but I will say that it's been on there for a minute not being set. I'm gonna go in with the concealer sponge to set my under eye area and kind of bake a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with my Tati Beauty Blendiful to set the rest of the face with powder. What in the... what the heck? So, I'm not sure if you can really see this, but we've got a little situation going on right here. For some reason, the powder clinged onto something. It was also over here, but I was able to like kind of buff it out. But this little guy right here, oh, there he goes. Oh no. Okay, after some intense buffing, I was able to get that to go away, but that was really weird. I've never in my life had a powder do that to me before. I will say, I see zero glow, so I'm not sure why it's called the Halo Glow powder. I mean, I don't know. Like, if there was a glow, it would be like a 3% glow. It looks really pretty though. I will say it looks very nice. My skin looks a little dry, but I did use a lot of powder, and I usually do that, and then I'm gonna use some setting spray to see if that helps, but it doesn't look horrible. But I definitely wouldn't consider this a glowy loose powder. So now I'm gonna go in and do some bronzer. I actually don't have an e.l.f. bronzer to try out today, so I'm just gonna go in with my everyday Hoola from Benefit. For blush, I have this gorgeous one here from e.l.f. This is a primer infused blush, and it's in the shade Always Cheeky. I freaking love this color. Like, I could stare at this all day because it's so yummy and gorgeous and delicious. Oh, I freaking love it. And I know that Buxom also has primer infused blushes, so I'm pretty sure I have all the shades, and I went through all the colors that I have, and I couldn't find one that was exactly the same or really that close, but the closest one I found is in the shade Mykonos, and as you can tell, it's definitely not the same, but they're both on the peachier end of the spectrum. This one's obviously a lot deeper and more like rich. This one is much more like pale peachy color, but that was the most similar shade match that I could find. Just wanted to point that out to you guys. All of the other Buxom ones that I have are more of like a pinky, like berry undertone, so I'm excited to try this e.l.f. one out. Here we go. Ooh, that's pretty. It's definitely a buildable formula. I'm just kind of, I keep going back in, building up that pigment even more. That's stunning. I love the color. Blush definitely disappears off my face. Who knows where it goes? Like, there must be like a collection of blush somewhere in this world, because I feel like this is a common problem. It all disappears and nobody knows where it goes. Like, does your makeup like eat it or what? I don't know. But this is freaking gorgeous, and the whole concept behind the primer infused blushes is that it's supposed to like last on your face longer. So by the end of this video, if it still looks like I have blush on, then that'll be groundbreaking. I definitely put a lot on, but that's okay. I love blush. As I'm putting more on, what's my problem? By the way, you can use code Paige for 10% off blending brushes. This is the F14 from the Starry Nights collection. Isn't it so gorgeous? I love it. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows and eyes since I don't have e.l.f. products for those, but I will do a little bit of a fast forwarded version just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. But for my eyeshadow, I am gonna go in with the Ofra Glitch palette. This was sent to me as PR and it is absolutely stunning. I freaking love it. They're all metallic shades and I cannot wait to try this out on the eyes. I've seen some gorgeous eye looks on Instagram. I'm gonna have to supplement this with some other shadows just because I need some matte shadows when I do my eyeshadow. And then we also have a lip gloss. Ooh, this is pretty. It's in the shade BRB. It's also from the Glitch collection, so I'll probably end up using that since I don't have any e.l.f. lip products either. Here's how the eye look turned out. I decided to not go with lashes because this mascara from Buxom is insane. This is the new Extrovert Mascara. I know you can get it on Ulta's website, but I haven't seen it on Sephora's yet. But holy crap, you guys, this is crazy. Like, hello? I mentioned in the first video that I used this in, what video was that? Oh, it was my Chit Chat Get Ready With Me, like my life update video. I used this for the first time and it's a little bit hard to work with. I feel like it's a little bit messy. You really have to work on like separating the lashes and like placing them where you want because it tends to want to clump together, but it looks beautiful once you've like figured it all out. So I've been really liking the more like natural kind of vibe. Don't get me wrong, I love my lashes. I will forever love my lashes, but I don't know. I don't have anything going on today, so I figured that I could like get away with a more natural look. So anyway, I went in with the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I used the shades Momentum, Utopia, and Karma in the crease. I also put Karma in the outer corner. On the lower lash line, I put the shade Off Balance. These are all matte shades. And then for my lid, I went into the Ofra Glitch palette. And first, I went in with Y2K, which is the gold shade, and it looked not very exciting. Very not exciting. So I went ahead and wet the brush, and I feel like that really made it look a lot better. And then I took the middle shade, which is like the white shade, which is called Rhinestones, and I put that on the inner corner in the brow bone, and I feel like it looks really nice. Overall, I love the eye look. I think it's really cute and fun. Very everyday for me, not like too out there. I think this is a gorgeous palette, but like I said, definitely a supplemental palette unless you feel like you can wear all metallic shades. I would recommend wetting the brush just to get like extra wow factor. But overall, I think it's really pretty. I'll go ahead and swatch some of the other shades. This is the pink shade right there. I'll go ahead and swatch this purple. This green is like stunning. And then I'll do the gold that I used on my eyes. Here are the swatches of those shades. I feel like these bottom three all have the same like metallic kind of finish, but this top one has more of a satin finish. I feel like it's a gorgeous palette, but based on like all of the advertising I saw on Instagram, I expected it to be a lot more unique and like super shimmery and just like stunning. It is stunning, but I don't know, I just expected more, like something different. But it's still really nice, and I think the colors are beautiful, and I know that pastels are like so in right now, so I think it's really fun, and I'm glad that I have it and was able to try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and set the face with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultrafine Mist. I've been trying to use this up recently because I don't want it to go bad before I get the chance to. Here's a swatch of the gloss. It's super glittery. It looks purple in the container, but on the swatch it just looks like a very like icy, like glittery gloss. That's super cute. I might use a little bit of that. It depends. I don't know yet. So for a highlighter, I have so many highlighters here, you guys. I bought these a while ago. I feel like I might have posted it on my Instagram story or mentioned it in a video or something, but these are, I don't even know what kind of highlighters these are, but they look absolutely amazing. And I got them, and then I swatched this one, which is in the shade Rose Gold, and it was very like blah, like very disappointing. So I have these. I'm gonna swatch those and see. But I was in Orlando a while ago during Vlogmas. It was in December. We were at Target and I saw these palettes and like, oh my god, they look so freaking pretty. So it looks like they have that same formula in there, like the bottom three right here all look like that same formula, but then these top ones are different, pressed differently. So we're gonna do swatches of all of these. I have the light palette and then I also have the dark palette. So I don't know. We got lots of highlighters to choose from and we're gonna do swatches and all of that. As I'm swatching these, they're super hard and almost like scratchy feeling. Very bizarre. Like I thought they would be super like buttery. Here's a swatch of that first one. That is super dark. That is in the shade Rose Gold. It actually doesn't look horrible from the swatch. This one is in the shade 24 Karat Gold. Again, that looks very dark, but doesn't look bad from the swatch. I don't know why I had such a bad thought of these. And then this one is the lightest one. This is in the shade White Gold. It's just like, it doesn't even feel like makeup. Like it feels like it's fake because it's so hard. That one's pretty. That's definitely the only shade that I could use as a highlighter. I might be able to like mix the other two with this one. So those are all of the individuals. Now I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the light palette. Here are the swatches of the light palette. These top three are that bizarre like hard formula, the bottom row. This one is almost non-existent. That one is super dry. These bottom ones here, they're pretty, but they're very, very like nonchalant. And this first one here, it's like the lightest shade in the palette. Almost has the vibe of the Fenty Diamond Bomb like highlighter, you know what I'm talking about? The first one that she came out with like last holiday season, the 2018 holiday season. That's what this one kind of reminds me of, but overall I am not impressed with the swatches of that. Especially because these are called Glow Glam palettes. I feel like that sounds like a very like intense, like beaming to the gods kind of highlight, you know? Not like a natural, like no makeup highlight. And then here are the swatches of the dark palette. I feel like these are a lot more creamy in the dark palette than the light one, these like patterned ones here. The bottom ones are just like, it's just like dry and crumbly. These ones are actually not bad though. But this again is that same like super glittery formula, the lightest shade here, but it looks like there's like an overspray of glitter. And then like when you scrub underneath, like I don't really see as much glitter. Like it's not as pretty anymore in the pan because the glitter on top is gone. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I am very disappointed in this. It says you can get an inner glow, a gleam, glamour look, or a beaming ray of sunshine. You are not getting any kind of beaming ray of sunshine from these palettes. I'm sorry, but you're not. I'm gonna try out this e.l.f. brush that I just picked up. This is the e.l.f. 107. It's some kind of like highlighter brush. And I think I'm gonna try, this one here and just see what happens. Hello? Okay, there we go. We're getting a little bit of shine. That's pretty. I still feel like it's kind of, it's not subtle, but it's not like anything I've never seen before. I also am kind of like squeezing the brush so that I can get in there a little bit better, like this, because I feel like this brush is too like long and floppy, so it's not really picking up the product because it is so firmly pressed. I feel like this would be better for a softer highlight, like maybe the Becca highlighters this would be really pretty for. But it actually doesn't look bad on the skin. The swatches looked a lot worse, but I'm really like having to work with this and like go back and like dig into that product. I feel like I was a little bit harsh on the highlighter before trying it out on the face. And I'm not as disappointed in it as I initially was based on the swatches. So something to note, the swatches look horrible or at least not anything fantastic. But this is the only shade that I used on my face right here. Oh, it has a name. Oh, it just says metallic. So there's one glitter, two shimmers, and then these three are called metallics. It's the lightest metallic shade, but I feel like it doesn't look bad. I think it looks It looks cute actually. For lips, I used the KKW lip liner in the shade Nude 0.5. Then I went in with the Lauralee Los Angeles liquid lipstick in the shade Nakey Nakey. And then I did go in with that Ofra lip gloss and just put a tiny bit on like the center of my lips. And this is how the look turned out. I think it's really cute and fun. Very like everyday, super like chill. But I feel like I definitely have some opinions about some e.l.f. products. So let me gather my thoughts and give you a little bit of a overview. Just as I'm about to finish the video, my camera battery's gonna die. Don't you just love that? My candle is lit, by the way. It's just the label on it isn't see-through, so it looks so dark, but it's lit. I feel like my makeup turned out pretty nice today. I really do like it. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I matched my shirt really well. But from the beginning, we tried out a new primer today. I feel like it looks good. I definitely still see pores, so it doesn't make them disappear, but it's not exaggerated any more than normal. And actually it looks pretty decent. I do have quite a bit of texture to my skin because I do have acne prone skin, but I feel like, I mean, it's nice. It's not a miracle worker, but it looks good. I enjoy it. The foundation also doesn't look bad. It is a more medium coverage. I prefer my Believe Beauty foundation over the e.l.f. one. The Believe Beauty one is only $5, but I know that Dollar General isn't everywhere. Like, I would assume it would have been everywhere, but I know not every state has it. So I feel like this is a decent foundation. I definitely think it's worth giving it a shot. My oil in my skin is definitely like maintained. It doesn't look too crazy. I'm not creasing or cracking anywhere, which is really nice. So overall, I feel like the foundation worked out pretty well. The concealer, not sure how I feel about this concealer, y'all. I feel like it didn't really do too much. I don't know. I prefer my Jeffree Star Magic Concealer or the Benefit Boing Concealer, which I know those are a lot more expensive than this. This is a $6 concealer. I just feel like I don't know what it did. I didn't really, I don't know. It doesn't look bad. Like, it wasn't like a total fail. I just feel like it didn't really enhance my makeup in any way. So I'm kind of iffy on this. I really want to try the original formula, which I will do very, very soon for you guys. But the new formula didn't really do much for me. The sponge is a cool concept. I really like the shape of this sponge. Like, I feel like I'm gonna use this to apply like my other concealers that I love, and I'll see if how that goes. I love the texture of it because it's so soft. Like, it might be even a little bit too soft, but it just feels so good to like squish, you know? And then this sponge also, don't know how I officially feel about it. Oh, this kind of matches my shirt and makeup as well. But it's not horrible, and it's so squishy. Like, there's something about it. I'll definitely continue using this out before I like give an official opinion, but I feel like the sponges are cool, and I'm glad that I have them and have tried them out. I've been sticking to this guy right here, the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, for quite some time. I just tried out the Juno & Co. Microfiber Sponge for the first time, and I thought that was pretty decent as well. The powder, the Halo Glow powder, this is supposedly a dupe for the Jaclyn Hill Mood Light powders, and that is false. Like, I'm sorry, it's false. Like, if it was a dupe, like, I would let you know, but it's not. Like, I would not have set my face with it if it was. I don't see any glow to it, really. It looks beautiful, though. It's a beautiful powder. I really do like it. I just don't think it's a dupe like everybody is saying or speculating, but I think it's really nice. I did see that this is the lightest shade, so I have the shade Light. There's 3 shades that I've seen at Target, and this is the lightest of the 3, so I feel like it worked out really well for me. So if you have a similar skin tone, I think this is a good one. I think it's really pretty, so I just don't think it's glowy at all. What else? My eyeshadow, I love the way my eyeshadow turned out. Nothing e.l.f. there. My brows, I just did Benefit and Essence. Mascara, we already talked about. Lips, we talked about. Oh, blush. I really like this blush. You can still see it on my skin, which, like I said, like, if it's still there, that's going to be a really good sign. I think it's gorgeous. I love the color. I'll definitely be reaching for this more, and I want to see what other shades they have. I would like to compare the two, this one and the Buxom like formula, to see if it's like similar wear time and formula and swatching and all of that kind of stuff, but there could be videos like that already. I don't know. I feel like this isn't like a super new product, but it is really good, so I highly recommend the blush. And then the highlighters, I gotta say, I was definitely a little too harsh on them originally. I think this is a gorgeous glow. Like, this is stunning. And based on the swatches, I didn't think this was going to be anywhere near achievable, but once I started applying it with a brush, it really made a difference. So maybe check these out. I think the palettes are fun. The glitter formula, I feel like that's kind of like not good. But the bottom three are all that like metallic formula, which is what I'm wearing, and I think it looks nice. So I feel like these are like, they pass. Definitely better than I thought they were gonna be. And then these are also that same formula of the metallic highlighter, so I don't know. Don't be discouraged by the swatches, I guess. I do think this is a nice brush, but I kind of had to like really dig into those e.l.f. products. I was literally squeezing the bristles together like this so that they were shorter and more firm. Otherwise it's a little too floppy, but maybe for a softer highlight this would be nice. But I feel like something more dense would be good for the e.l.f. metallic highlighters, something like the F17 from Bling Brushes, so just so you can really like buff that in and make it look really metallic. But overall, I feel like it all turned out pretty well. The biggest flop was the concealer, which I wouldn't even really consider a flop. I feel like it's still like fine. Like, I don't know, something I'm gonna have to play with, and I'm also gonna try applying it with my regular sponge and see if like that makes a difference. I'm gonna try a bunch of different things, and then I'll definitely update you guys in future videos. I'm so happy that you guys like the drugstore content on my channel. I have been really enjoying trying new brands, new drugstore products, things like that, so I'm happy that you guys are enjoying watching. I really hope that you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!